What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 218 of the Taste Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about all things gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today, of course, is Chevy. Chevy, since the last thing we filmed, which I think was our review of Lazarus over on Tasty Flicks, if you guys are watching that, it's just come out. I think just episode 1 is out right now, so if you're watching that, go check out that review. But since then, how you doing? And are you excited to cover what we've been playing, game releases, and all the first-person shooter videos we have in this episode for some reason? How you doing?
Doing good. Just kind of work home and play what I can as I can at the moment. But yeah, doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm excited to get a taste cast out. Last month we tried an experiment, and by we, I tried an experiment where I wanted to just do shorter videos and just kind of pump out more TLG reacts, which I enjoyed doing, but also I like doing taste cast, obviously having longer form conversations, so I'm happy to be doing that again. And I am excited to talk about everything that we have in this episode, and curious to see how what we've been playing is going to go, because I don't have much to talk about there because I can't talk about most of what I've played. So yeah, but overall, doing good. I'm feeling surprisingly energized. Typically, I'm not during the week after work filming, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So good. I'm going to use that as I can right now to try to get us through this episode. So it's the first Taste Cast of the month, which means we got to discuss game releases. This list is via thegamer.com, so if there's any errors to this or anything that is not on here, let us know in the comments, but blame the gamer as well if they got anything wrong. So let's get into this. April 1st, we got Quimera on PS5 and PC. On April 3rd, we got The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC. April 3rd, Detective Dotson on PC. April 3rd as well, Tetris the Grandmaster for Absolute Eye PC. I don't know what that is. April 4, Echo Beach on PC. April 8th, Ixion on PS5, Xbox Series. April 8th, South of Midnight finally comes out on Xbox, or came out. What's the date today? Yeah, okay, it's out. On Xbox Series and PC. April 9th, we got All in Abyss, Judge the Fake, PS5, Switch, and PC. A lot of games I've just never even heard of here. April 9th, we got Progress Orders on Switch and PC. April 10th, Blueprints on PS5 and PC. April 10th as well, Snow Bros 2 Special, Switch and PC. 10th as well, The Talos Principle, Reawakened on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. On the 15th, we got Lush Foil Photography Sim on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC. Then on the 16th, we got Toho, Danmaku Kagura Fantasia Lost on PS5. Then on April 17th, we got iRobot on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. 17th, we got Madragora on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then we got Rusty Rabbit on the 17th. PS5, Switch, and PC. The last one on the 17th is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, coming out on PS5. That's pretty cool to see. April 18th, we got Lunar Remastered Collection, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on the 23rd, we got Yasha, Legends of the Demon Blade, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on the 24th, we got Super Techno's World, River City, and Techno's Arcade Classics on PS5, Switch, and PC. And on the 24th, we have Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Tempest Rising comes out on the 24th as well on PC, and on the 24th as well, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 finally comes out on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Then on the 25th, we have Days Gone Remastered on PS5. 29th, we got Forza Horizon 5 coming out on PS5. Interesting to see a couple Xbox games coming out on PlayStation finally. April 30th, we have Skin Deep on PC. Then on the 30th as well, we got MotoGP 25, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Surprised to see MotoGP is still around. That's kind of cool. I used to play those a lot back on the original Xbox. And then some to be announced. We have Monaco 2. I didn't even know they're making one. PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Then Fantasy Life. Was that an I? The Girl Who Steals Time on Switch. Ratatan on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, PC, Xbox Series, and Switch. I don't know why I skipped two of those. And then the last one apparently, is Dave the Diver Ichiban's Holiday Content Pack on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. All right, Chevy, what games are you picking up? Surprisingly, in my opinion, kind of a bloated month of nothing.
Yeah, I don't know about like necessarily picking up, but I definitely I always have a vague interest in Toho because I like the idea of bullet hell games, but I'm not.
Okay. I was like, what is it?
I'm not very. I've never played that series. I've just only seen bits and pieces of it. I just know it's been a series for a very long time. So, Lunar Remaster is something I probably will pick up. I don't know if I'll pick it up day one, but something I definitely want. I used to own both those games, collector's editions, back on the PlayStation when they came with all sorts of crazy like goodies and stuff. I have an interest in Clair Obscur, but I am also waiting for that to come out and see what people actually have to say about it once it comes out. I'm happy for PlayStation people to be able to play Forza Horizon 5. It is, in my opinion, the better Horizon or Forza series.
And definitely some of the best, if not the best, arcade racers out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
they've really got their gameplay loop down with that game.
Yeah, and hopefully it has crossplay. That'd be dope.
That'd be awesome.
And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm slightly interested in seeing how The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered plays on PC. That was a game that I played through and beat, I think, twice on PS5, and it's a great game. But to play with mouse and keyboard would be kind of sick. The game has some pretty advanced graphics and mechanics when it comes to shooting people, which is pretty intense. So it'd be kind of interesting to be able to fine-tune that aim. South of Midnight, I have a loose interest in. I'm hearing some pretty okay reviews about it, which is better than bad. But most people are saying like it's more of an experience than like a deep game, which I kind of assumed it would be. So kind of interested in that. Let me know in the comments if you played it and if I should play it. And then let's see here. Indiana Jones coming out on PS5 I think is really cool. That's a game that I feel like should have been on everything, so now it is basically, and I think people will enjoy it over on PS5. I never beat it, but I need to. Let's see. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 I will likely buy day one. I am pretty interested in that game, but I also am curious to see what people say when it comes to reviews. I like to kind of get an amalgamation of different point of views to kind of see if, maybe a bunch of people play and they go, this game looked awesome, but it actually has all these broken things in it. I'd be like, oh shit, maybe I'll wait. So
yeah.
We'll see, but it's looking awesome. It's definitely one of my more anticipated games of this year, and it's coming out right around the corner. And then Monaco 2, I haven't heard shit about, so is that accurate? The original Monaco was like I believe, co-op heist game. It was like top-down, it had some interesting like mechanics. If that is indeed the sequel to that, I'd be interested in checking that out, but I haven't seen anything on it, so I don't know if this is like updated the list. So other than that, though, I guess it's going to be a really simple month, which around here we appreciate that. So because outside of our obligations for the channel, which we like doing, but they are time consuming.
Yeah.
And then the games we want to play, and then the games that are on the back burner that we also would like to play. Brand new games come out every month, which is typically the trend.
Brutal.
I appreciate when I don't have to plan ahead for games coming up. We also have to play through our game of the month this month, which is Split Fiction. So
that'll be easy.
That'll give us time to put like the 15 hours into playing that, because I know it's like a shorter experience, but we will be playing that. Other than that is all I got. So unless you have anything else to say, let us know in the comments. What games are you guys anticipating in April? Any games that are not on this list that you are looking forward to playing? Maybe there's some games you already picked up. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to game releases in April. All right, let's jump into what we've been playing. And how about you start us off with what you've been playing?
Okay. I don't think I mentioned this last time because it's been a little while since we filmed. So
last Tasty Cast? That was a month ago.
So probably didn't then.
But I believe we did touch a little bit on one of the TLG reacts on
Okay.
games we were playing.
Well, just in case, I'll just repeat myself then, I guess. The patch for Final Fantasy 14 came out. I have gone through the story on that. I'm happy to report, at least for myself, that the story was enjoyable. I think I have brought this part up before. The base game for Dawn Trail, when it came out, the first half of the story I wasn't into. The second half was better. This expands upon that and continues keeping it interesting. So I was very happy to see that. The content that's out right now is mostly just a new raid tier, which unfortunately I can't do right now because we lost a raid member. So we're kind of poking around to see if we can get anyone to bite to come play. But
what happened is they had a gigantic fight. Words were said, friendships were demolished, and it's not that they left, it's that you ousted them. You're like, you're not welcome here anymore, and I never want to hear anything from you again. I want to see your face. I don't want to hear your fucking name from anybody. Right? That's how you guys run that over.
That'd be very dramatic. No, someone's work schedule changed. So
that was hard for me to even say. It's so ridiculous.
So, and adults trying to get 8 adults to play a game at the same time is kind of rough. So
true.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got there. I've been mostly crafting and gathering. A bunch of new stuff in that regard came out. Plus, sometime this month they're releasing a large content update for crafters and gatherers, which I'm looking forward to doing, where you're going to basically be trying to bring life back to dead planets. So that'll be fun. Yeah. I lost track of what I have played outside of that.
You just reminded me I need to play No Man's Sky.
Yeah, someday.
That's a back burner game that's just going to continue being a back burner game, and they'll just keep supporting it while I'm waiting to play it again.
Until Light No Fire comes out, and then you'll have 2 of them.
Oh, I'll be playing the show that, though.
So, I had another one, and I somehow lost it.
Was it a mobile game?
Well, no, I haven't mentioned those. I play those every day. But
was it a PC game?
Oh, Monster Hunter.
Okay.
The patch came out.
I haven't played that yet.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it kind of vague then. I've done both the monster fights. Well, I mean, they're not secrets. They were announced. So
yeah.
Mizutsune is pretty cool. I need to get on and grind out to get the armor, but they did a good job implementing the monster. Zoshia, I think it is, the last boss of the story. The HR version is out now, and it is a decent challenge, which I'm kind of happy to say, because like a lot of the fights are pretty easy, and that one was a little rough. So I'm sure with some more practice on it, it'll get easier. But the first run, I was just like, holy crap! Okay, that's not what I was expecting. So, but yeah, it was good. The hub is pretty cool. It's pretty large actually, but I guess it does hold quite a few people. The bowling mini game is pretty good as well. I appreciate that. It kind of gives me the vibes of the Steam machine from Iceborne, though far less rewards. It does take less time though, so it's kind of fair in that regard. I believe you get the tickets from logins, I think. I'm not 100% sure on how you get the tickets for the bowling, but I mean, you get items for it, so it makes sense that it has a currency. Otherwise, you can do it freely whenever you want, just by picking up a barrel and throwing it down the hill. So it is a little weird though, because it doesn't sync up. Me and Chris were doing it together, and we were both throwing it, but we usually screen share on Discord when we play games, and I would throw it, and on my screen it would go off to the left and blow up, and on his screen it would go off to the right. And I'm like, okay, those are obviously not synced up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's because it's to allow for the amount of people who probably can be there at the same time to throw it. It doesn't really matter, too much if it's synced up. So
yeah, the one game I can even talk about when I do talk about games I've been playing, me and Josh played, and we realized pretty quick that we weren't seeing the same things, because there was there's a lot of physics in the game, and we're playing like basketball, and I threw it and something crazy happened. He's like, yeah, we're not seeing the same thing. I was like, oh, okay.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, looking forward to hopping into the game as I can. It's got a little difficult because the time sync can be a little rough in the game. Because if I start to play it similarly to like Civ, I'm probably not shutting it off. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I have my typical mobile stuff. If anyone's playing Honkai Star Rail right now, I think the 2-year anniversary started, so lots of goodies right now. So
yeah,
that's it.
I have played RoboCop Rogue City. If you didn't catch on TLG Reacts, like last week, it's interesting that I had been planning on talking about RoboCop Rogue City on Tastecast, and it was announced that it is a PlayStation Plus game. So automatically a game that I had played through and beat, and I was going to talk about, I can't now. So, but I have beaten that on PC. I have played it on PS5. Probably about as far as I will get in PS5. I've gotten the feel of it. I've played for like 2 hours, so my review will be based off that, but also having beaten the game. And then I've played Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I plan on playing that more, obviously, but I just kind of want to see how it ran on PS5. I have played that in the past quite a bit as well. They did add a brand new mode where you play as like sorority girls in like a dorm, and Johnny, who's one of the killers, is like trying to kill everybody in there, and you have to survive for like 3 minutes while the cops are on their way. So it's like, just gets you into the action. We'll talk about it.
That's just from because I haven't touched it, obviously. It's interesting because like originally I was under the impression they were done supporting the game, so that's funny.
No, there's all sorts of new characters and all sorts of shit. So, and then brand new mode, blah blah blah.
Maybe
so
I'm mixing it up with another one of those games.
Yeah, I think you are, because I think they have been supporting it. I've been waiting for this game to die just because I didn't think people were playing it really anymore. But with the bump from PS5 or PlayStation Plus, I'll be curious to see how it does. But they've been supporting it. So, and I've taken a pretty long break to the point where like there's like 3 or 4 new characters on both killers and survivors that I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy, because I was only there for like one of the new survivors to get added, and then they're adding like a grandma or something, and that's when I stopped playing. So anyway, they've added a bunch of stuff. We'll talk about that at the end of the month, but I have played that, and I've also played Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. And by play, I mean I sat there and read stuff for about an hour and then interacted with some combat. So that's about as far as I am. I will continue to play it and talk about it at the end of the month. So haven't played Split Fiction yet, though. We are going to be playing that soon. And just kind of play. Well, we'll see how much we play it, but we'll be able to knock that out and do a full review at the end of the month for sure. The only game I've played that I can even talk about, although it's worth mentioning, I did pick up Repo, but I haven't played enough to talk about it, which is like a 4-player cooperative like horror game, I think, with like physics. If you know, you know. A lot of people really like the game. And then I also got a game called Zort. I think Cody gifted that. Yeah, Cody gifted that to me, which is also like a cooperative horror game. And you guys know I fucking love those kind of games, so I will let you know my thoughts on those when I've played them. But the only game I've played that I can talk about is Schedule 1, the game that is very popular. It gets talked about a lot. I'm on Schedule 1 TikTok now, ever since I have been playing it, where every other video is a Schedule 1 video now, which is weird, because I don't want to hear all the information they're trying to tell me, because I'm just now getting into it. But Schedule 1, I think, kind of blew up, because I think it released in, I don't know, it's not in full release, but it came out around the same time Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, and a bunch of people who want that game to fail were like propping up Schedule 1, going like, look, this indie game's doing better than Assassin's Creed. That kind of blew it up to a lot of people. Outside of that, though, it's an indie game that a lot of people are playing and enjoying. And what it is, if you don't know, it's a drug dealer simulator, basically. It's basically Breaking Bad. It's, I think, up to 4-player cooperative, but you basically are in this small little open city that you get to run around in. There's NPCs walking around. There's stores you can go in. You can buy like, cosmetics, food, stuff like that. But you start in like a little motel room, and you start growing substances there, and then you have to go sell them, and then you eventually upgrade to like a house above a restaurant, and then later an actual house, and you just keep growing your empire until you're making all sorts of substances and selling them. You can also get a lot of automation going on. You can hire people to make things for you, distribute for you, all sorts of stuff you're used to in games like Pal World and other automation games, where you start at one point doing all the hard work, and then you have other things start to take over for you. Mm-hmm. So for people who are into those kind of games, that's what this is, except for it has kind of like a Rockstar twist to it, because you're doing illegal stuff, and there are cops. There's a weird like 9 p.m. curfew in the game that like at 9 all of a sudden you have to be indoors, but you get more money if you deliver the substances during this time. But then cops are trying to catch you also during the day. Cops patrol the city, and they'll stop and frisk you like randomly. So you want to make sure you don't have stuff on you. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. At first, I thought it looked kind of dorky because I'm not really big in like the culture of what you're selling in the game. But when it comes down to like gameplay mechanics, it offers way more than I feel like it should. And in fact, while me and Josh were playing it, because we played a co-op, he was always back making everything, and I was the one setting up deals and distributing throughout the city, which is a great way to play the game. A lot of people are playing it solo, and I know later you can just get the automation going, but we kind of flew through a lot of the beginning stuff in the game just because multitasking was nice. He was just constantly pumping stuff out. I was constantly delivering it, but I don't know how many people made this game. I thought I heard one person. Might be one of those situations, but it's a small dev team. It's an indie game. When I hear that AAA needs to be making smaller projects, the whole time I'm playing this, I'm like, AAA could have made this game or games similar to it with better graphics and maybe more stuff to do in the city. They have no excuse. This guy's doing it. It's not the biggest open world city in a game. It's not even close, but it's pretty big. It's kind of neat to play a game that's like kind of open world, but you know, a small dev team made it, and it just kind of amazes me what indie developers can do, because like the standard's not the same. I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this is really impressive for an indie developer. If like a AAA developer made it, I'd be like, yeah, I'd expect better graphics and stuff like that. But that they won't even like touch like a smaller project like this that's ambitious, it just kind of goes into the whole like they're trying to figure out how to sell big AAA games for $80 now, and it's like, or you could just make smaller projects like this and pump them out faster because you have a big dev team, and people would have fun with it if the game's fun to play.
Also use it as a supplemental income for your big projects.
Yeah, for sure. And we've talked about this before already, I think, on one of the TLG Reacts, but maybe it was the Nintendo one. I think we're at a place now where AAA needs to start making smaller projects, and when they have a reason to make a big game, they're at the standard now where they're like, we have to make big games. That's what people want to buy. But through Ubisoft, we've seen people don't care that much if the game's not fun or it's not exciting. So make like the smaller projects, and then when you have the big ambitious idea that you really want to back, and hope to get a lot back from it, then make the big AAA things. But it's just really interesting that they've just kind of stopped. I remember back in the day when Ubisoft would make like all these small little games. I forgot the name of it, but it was like this top-down like God Island game where you got to manipulate the ground and like change things up, and there was like real-time erosion happening from water and stuff like that. You had to like move villagers around. It was a really cool fucking game. It was a small little bite-sized game you could beat in like a couple hours. But I thought it was like such a cool little neat game, and Ubisoft made it. And it's like, what happened to those? You guys don't even make that shit anymore.
Yeah.
You don't make Rayman anymore. You just do like these big fucking... You make like one big game, and if it doesn't do well, you're like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to sell the company. It's like, that's kind of a crazy situation that they're stuck in. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but just playing like Schedule 1, I'm like, this game's like fun, solid, super ambitious for an indie dev. And it has some faults. Like, I don't think the AI is the smartest. The cops are pretty simple to outsmart. And there's a lot of ways to kind of cheese the game, but they set out to make like this open world, open city game. There, you're just kind of walk around a town with a bunch of NPCs doing a bunch of random stuff. You can like rob gas stations. You can like pickpocket people. This newest update coming up is adding a pawn shop where you can sell all your stuff, a jewelry store so you can wear like chains and stuff like that. Like, I feel like by the time they're done with this game, a lot of the buildings are going to have more interiors, more things to do, and yeah, it just reminds me of like, if this guy or these guys can do this, these small little fun projects that I'm going to get easily. I think I have like 8 hours in now, but I'll easily get like more than 20 probably after I'm done playing. A lot of people have like 100 hours in this fucking game. I think it's like $20. It's like, why can't AAA make smaller projects like this? It's kind of crazy. So
yeah.
But yeah, Schedule 1's a lot of fun, especially because multiplayer. I really like that, and I plan on playing more. Even it has vehicles, it has skateboarding, like it's got all sorts of shit. I was literally I made a little joke video that I'm going to be putting in a TikTok, where I made like a skate video. I just put like AFI to it, and I was just like riding my skateboard around the town, just like grinding and shit. And I was like, it's ridiculous. I can even just skateboard in this game.
Right.
Like, they didn't have to add that, but they did. So, but yeah, I need to play it more. I know there's a lot more stuff that comes with the game later that I need to play further into to experience, and I will talk about in the next Taste Cast. But I do definitely recommend Schedule 1, especially if you're looking and you think the aesthetic looks stupid or the art style stupid. Give it a try. I think it's actually pretty fun game. So especially if you're into like these automation type games, like so many games, indie games on Steam have these like systems where you set up people and they just do things for you. If you're in those games at all, I think you might like this. So, and like I said, co-op, which is cool. So
yeah,
that's all I've played. So, you got anything else?
No.
All right, let us know in the comments, what have you been playing? What games would you recommend us play? And what games are you looking forward to playing? Maybe you have something planned that you want to play that's maybe coming out. And yeah, whatever you're playing, is it cool? Let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to what you've been playing. All right, so we got some videos to watch. The first video is a teaser for a trailer that's going to come out for Marathon. The revival of the old IP Marathon through Bungie. Their first game that's not Destiny since, I think it's over a decade. They haven't made a brand new game. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, they're making a new game. I guess they've been working on it for like 6 years. And I don't know if you're going to be super excited about it because it is an extraction shooter, which is surprising considering the original Marathon was a single-player story game, first-person shooter.
Yeah, well, why would we continue our series the way they come from?
Yeah.
As Dragon Age.
Yeah, true. It's funny, though. I saw somebody on X, it was like a pretty big outlet, call this a brand new IP, and I'm like, Marathon's been around, so it's kind of interesting they didn't know that.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a complete revival, but yeah, this is supposed to be an extraction shooter, which is interesting because it's either going to be really cool or not so cool because those can be pretty hit or miss. I love extraction shooters, so if they nail it, I'll be into it. But yeah, I've seen a little bit on this already, and they're going to be showing, I think on the 12th, so this week, they'll be showing actual gameplay, finally, which I'm pretty interested in. I'll probably do a TLG Reacts unless you want to get in on that too after seeing this. We'll find out. But this is a teaser of the visual style, and from what I've seen so far when it comes to the visuals, it has a very, a very unique art style that you might be interested in, or maybe you'll hate. Do you have anything you want to say before we watch this?
No, I don't think so.
Any anticipation for a brand new Bungie game?
No, not really.
I don't even know what to expect from them anymore. Like, are they the same Bungie that they were? Because it's been so long. Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it.
It's like, who are they?
And like, I don't keep up with Destiny anymore, but I know that game is like a roller coaster of people enjoying it and disliking it. So
I don't believe anybody if they say they dislike it or like it. because they're constantly in flux of either complaining about it or going, it's in a good place right now.
Yeah.
And then that's going to change like instantly.
Online gaming for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this. This
Okay.
is Marathon Save the Date trailer, and it's a minute and a half to get us ready for a brand new trailer. In 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm honestly very curious about, not like in a hyped way, but curious about what Bungie's gonna bring.
Right. So we're aliens?
Could be some kind of cyborg robot android thing. Oh, someone's extracting. It definitely doesn't look like Destiny.
No. It's very colorful.
10 a.m. 12th, okay. All right, so in that teaser, we saw some very colorful visuals. Some people getting eliminated on a alien planet, and some kind of pink robotic cat. I barely remember the original Marathon game because it's been so long since I've played it, but this definitely feels like a departure from that. Although the original Marathon game was sci-fi, this definitely feels pretty different, especially in just how not just vibrant it is, but also like neon colored it is. So yeah, what did you think of the teaser?
I mean, it's kind of hard for me to glimpse anything from it other than, like, you know, you get an idea of environments that you'll be in. Obviously, your player characters, like we saw what seemed to be like robot feet at one point, and then you know, this looks a little more I presumably humanoid. We don't see a face, but we got blue blood apparently, or maybe it's oil if it is a robot,
Or just robot blood?
yeah. And then
Earlier, somebody was running and they put a footstep down and left liquid behind those yellow.
yeah. And then
Maybe it's like Splatoon, except you got to paint the map with your enemy's blood.
I don't know, but the cat just kind of showing up and not really caring, just like, I'm gonna rub up on you and go to bed on you. So.
Yeah. It's hard for me to have a hard opinion on this teaser because all it does is give us a glimpse at the visual style and has me asking questions, which is what you want from a teaser. A teaser should get your interest. So I am definitely curious to see what gameplay will look like. I have a weird feeling when I see the visual style, and while we're talking about the visual style, I have concept art for this game, showing some. Let me make sure this is on screen for everybody else. Some very humanoid / robotic, or at least the armor's, you know, sci-fi looking armor, which is very vibrant, and I, in one way, kind of feel like it's obnoxious looking in how colorful it is, but in another way, I'm like kind of into an FPS not looking like other shooters. This looks like pretty unique visually. Like, you look at this and it doesn't look like, and this actually does kind of remind me of the original Marathon, but it has a visual identity, which says a lot, because most first-person shooters come out and I think they look like most other first-person shooters. And this game has like this visual style that I believe I read, they call it something brutalism or something like that, but or realism. I don't remember, but one of the inspirations for it was Mirror's Edge.
I definitely see that.
Which I get, because you have these, like, you have a strong contrast, but it's not a contrast in like white and black where you get like the punchier shadows. It's a contrast in colors. So you have like this white constantly, everything's really bright, but then you have these vibrant colors that contrast with it. And when I did read that it was like inspired by Mirror's Edge, partly other things as well, I also see it. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of neat that you can definitely see. Here we see definitely either blue blood or oil coming out of the sky in this very milky water, which I think looks kind of cool. My only worry about this is, if the game comes out and like gameplay looks like shit, because this style will be completely wasted. But if it's like a high quality AAA, like must play looking first person shooter, I think this art style will really shine. It's kind of a gamble in my opinion, because like I'm looking at it, I'm like, it kind of looks obnoxious, kind of looks interesting. And if the game looks like shit, I'm gonna be like, yeah, maybe it's obnoxious looking. It's really weird how I'm feeling like just seeing if the gameplay is interesting enough or not will determine my last thought on the visual style, because I think it's kind of a gamble. Like, it's definitely a visual style that stands out, but it's got to be really backed by gameplay graphics. I got to see, how this is going to look in the game. But other than that, I don't have much else to say, because we didn't see actual gameplay. We will see gameplay later this week, and I'm actually, regardless of if it looks good or not, kind of excited to find out what Bungie's been doing outside of Destiny. I remember when this was first announced, it was like a small side project, and they had like 4 people working on it. But now I think they have like way more people working on it. So I'm hoping it's getting some love and attention, because I'd hate to see, Bungie just supporting Destiny 2 forever and then trying to do something, but not really putting the effort or confidence into it to make something that's even going to be worth the time. And of course, Bungie has had a long history of making, regardless of how you feel about, support of the game, mechanics, stuff like that, they make solid shooters. I mean, they even though they might not be the same Bungie now, they made Halo. Halo obviously was great, especially when Bungie made it. And then Destiny and Destiny 2, regardless of how you feel about whatever update came out recently, they play great. They're great playing shooters. So I'm hoping this will have that pedigree at the very least. I hope it's just like a super tight, great feeling shooter with some really crazy visuals. So I'm definitely interested. Are you interested at all in seeing more on this?
Not so much. Also, just kind of comment on the color thing as well. It just kind of like screams to me what is now just industry standard. Like, if you're making a competitive game, it's got to be bright and colorful.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me. But
I get what you're saying, but I would push back, and you didn't say this, but I would push back on the idea of it being cartoony looking.
Yeah,
which is, that, yeah. I know you didn't say that, but that is more so where I would lean what you said, because a lot of the industry, when they make a colorful game, they're typically cartoony looking because they're trying to cash in on that Fortnite look.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm seeing people now going like, I'm sick of hearing people say they don't like cartoony games, and I'm just like, okay, so we got the pushback on cartoony games. Now we're getting the pushback on the people who don't like it. That's always how it goes. But I do agree, especially if you're making like a free-to-play game, free-to-play shooter, you're trying to get some attention, you're trying to make it appealing to most people. It's easy to just go like bright, cartoony, but I think there's like a real style here. Regardless of if somebody looks at it and doesn't like it, kind of like, I don't want to even mention it because there's political ramifications, a specific car that was released. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it visually, and I feel like this game will have that going on because it's not cartoony looking, but it is very vibrant.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, hopefully the gameplay can back it enough that you'll just look at it and go, well, I want to play it regardless.
Right.
So I'm excited to find out more, and yeah, hopefully they can bring it. Got anything else?
Mm-mm.
All right, let us know in the comments what do you guys think about this teaser save the date trailer for Marathon. Has it piqued your interest? Are you not interested at all? What are you hoping for when it comes to Marathon? Do you think it's a waste of the brand making an extraction shooter? I've seen that sentiment. I'm mixed on that. I would like a traditional shooter. But also, if they have a good enough idea to make an extraction shooter, I like extraction shooters. So I'm not opposed to it. But if it feels like a soulless extraction shooter, yeah, I would agree with people. They should have just made it into something more unique, I guess. But where do you stand on that? And are you looking forward to finding out more on this April 12th? And I think I already asked this, but what are you hoping for from it? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to Marathon. Next game trailer we're going to be watching is La Quimera. This official announcement trailer came out a month ago. We originally weren't going to watch it, but the most recent video is an official gameplay trailer. Because I've followed this loosely and Chevy hasn't seen it at all, we're going to watch the one that came out a month ago, and then we will watch the most recent one. So if you're wondering why we're watching this old video, getting Chevy caught up, and everybody who maybe hasn't seen this. But La Quimera is what I just found out recently, a cooperative first-person shooter. I think it's 3-player, made by the ex-4A Games devs, people who make the Metro games, which I fucking love. This is their new studio, Reburn, I think it's called.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a 3-player cooperative shooter. I think it's like cyberpunk-esque, and you're basically going to be like using abilities in your suit and your weapons. And yeah, I guess we just watch it and you can get a feel for it. This is La Quimera official announcement trailer in 3, 2, 1, go. Originally, when I heard it was X4A Games devs, though, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. The 4A Games is... I love the Metro games.
Haven't been out here in a long time. Jesus. You're too young to remember Activation Day.
Exosuits.
Yeah.
It's an ambush! Fall back! Fall back! We need reinforcements! Central Bravo Charlie Reinforcements now!
Definitely decent graphics. Animations looked okay.
And let me tell you that fancy haircuts and TV ads is not the life of a PMC.
Senor La Vegas Group, welcome.
Even if we don't have an invasion, let me show you a revolution.
That almost looks like the guy from Thor. Kind of getting id vibes a little bit.
You know what I'm getting? That this is Crisis 4.
Well, yeah, I can see it too.
What the hell is happening?
Hush! Don't you fucking move.
So different types of people.
True.
Now that's Crisis.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The whole time I was watching, I was like, this is like Crisis 4. We'll watch the next video here in a sec, but one thing I saw somebody say recently, and I completely agreed, and I wanted to recommend them one of the 3 games that's on PlayStation Plus right now that I can't talk about, but they were like, what happened to like single to multiplayer first-person shooter campaigns?
Doom.
Yeah, but those are like like little pockets in arenas or whatever. Like I think they're looking for like just
Sure.
games where you play through a story and shoot shit.
Yeah.
And there isn't a whole lot of them, although I would argue RoboCop Rogue City is definitely a game like that. But that game, everybody said when that game came out, it felt like an older FPS in a good way. That's what this kind of reminds me of too. So I'm hoping we'll start seeing more, you know, especially with like people just not liking COD as much as they already didn't like it in the first place. There's like this weird void where people want like these like story-driven first-person shooters again.
I mean, we're missing stuff like BioShock and stuff like that as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we don't have those. everybody just wants to make the online multiplayer ones because
Money.
Yeah, exactly. But now we're in this place where they're not making the money back as much as they'd like.
Yeah, the last one I could think of.
Even though Steam makes $100 million off of CS:GO every month.
Wow.
Off just crates.
That makes sense to me. It's always in the top 2 played games on Steam.
It's fucking crazy.
Well, gambling's I play gacha games, so
Yeah, that's fair.
what was I saying?
I don't know. We're hopping around a lot.
There was that one shooter that came out where part of the preview was they go in this room and there's these 2 doll type things that come up and talk to you. That was a shooter that was story based, but that was fairly recent. Can't remember the name of it.
I don't remember what you're talking about, but
you would know if you saw the weird mannequin doll things. That
is it the claymation looking game?
No,
Okay.
no, it's super crispy. They have no face, but they're female formed.
You're talking about Atomic Heart?
Yes.
Yeah, that game, and that is an example of that. That was literally a game for people who were missing BioShock, basically.
Yes. Yeah, that is a more recent example, but there's few and far between. So.
And Atom Fall, which just came out, although people say it's more of an exploration game with shooting, which I think is probably a decent way to describe it. But yeah, it'd be cool if we got more games like that. This trailer alone, though, we'll watch the next one in a sec. When I was talking about Marathon and talking about its unique style, not to take away from this game, because I think the graphics are actually really good. And it looks like a fun game. This game does look kind of generic, though, visually to me. It looks like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to me. I mean that in the best way possible because it's actually really cool to see ex-devs of a smaller AA dev, I guess you could call them. Are they AAA? I'm not sure. 4A games. Make something that looks like this. So it looks great, but... if you looked at Marathon next to this game and asked a random person who might have heard of these games a little bit, they're going to recognize Marathon over this just because it has such a distinct visual style. Other than that, though, I think it looks pretty cool. The enemy types, the weapon types, the cinematics and stuff like that. It definitely looks like it's going to be a fun experience. And I just found out that you're going to be able to play this with people, and that's also a huge selling point for me. I also read, too, that this is going to be a $30 game.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound right to me because it doesn't look like a $30 game to me. But I guess we'll find out when it comes out. I guess I can look at it on Steam. But did you have any thoughts on first impressions seeing that?
I mean, the big thing I kind of noticed was there's, and I had kind of said it, but there's so many different styles of people in it, so I'm kind of curious what the theme is supposed to be at that point, because I saw some almost like Mayan Aztec and type tribal, I guess I should say.
I believe this takes place in South America in the future.
Yeah, it's just weird seeing the mix, right?
Yeah.
I do think the gun design is unique, which is fun, I think, because...
it takes me back to PS3.
We don't really do it anymore. Yeah, we do a lot of just very grounded weaponry.
Yep.
I do kind of like then that's one thing I appreciate about a lot of id games too, is they kind of just have these out there weapons.
For sure.
And that's definitely a product of its time, but I would like to see more people experiment with that. I mean, even Resistance on the PlayStation, was really experimental with weapons, and then that kind of disappeared. I guess Ratchet and Clank, the same company, but
yep.
But yeah, most people don't do it. So yeah, I think that's kind of fun. The character models, the armor stuff like that, is very you could probably put that in a bunch of different games. It'd probably fit. So yeah, I understand that aspect.
I do agree, though. The weapons are pretty unique looking.
The weapons are very cool looking.
Yeah.
I also think the environments and the enemy types are all really good looking too. Really, my biggest complaint is I just think the character style, it's just very safe, right? And that's not a complaint. It's just something I've noticed.
Sure.
It wouldn't stop me from trying it if it's a good game. So.
Yeah. All right, well, let's watch the next video and see some more gameplay of this.
Okay.
This is La Quimera official gameplay trailer, and 3, 2, 1, go. I am, dude. I'm ready for combat at all times.
It's so creepy.
Study means shoot him.
That pistol had really crazy effects.
Yeah.
It was firing.
Combine weapon with exo skills. Crisis 4. Oh, whoa, what is that?
I can see the walls.
Decoy, invisibility, some kind of stun shock thing.
Yes, so
Executions.
they're definitely being very creative with like the combat, which
Yeah, which is important. Gameplay is fucking king.
side scope or main scope.
You know? I'm excited it's co-op. I didn't even know that till today when I was looking into this.
Excuse me. There's a beta you can sign up for that starts in a couple days.
On the 12th,
Yeah.
when Marathon's gonna get shown off.
Yeah.
That's when the first-person shooter renaissance starts. Honestly, even though we didn't get as much of the set pieces in that trailer, gameplay-wise, we saw a lot of like interesting mechanics, which is the most important thing for me because there's so many shooters out there, and there's so many shooters out there where you just shoot shit, and that's fun. Whatever you shoot, they die, whatever. But I like shooters where there's like you could play it this time and play it the next time, and different things are going to happen. Things are more dynamic. You have different abilities to play around with. Just makes the gameplay more interactive, less like, oh, just shoot the bolt sponge till it dies. That is really crazy looking. I don't know what the fuck that is. I wish I would have explained some of this stuff. A lot of it's kind of self-explanatory, like we saw the invisibility, stuff like that. But other things, I have questions, but that's good because now I'm curious about the game. Like that weird little shield thing or wherever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Seeing through walls, being able to shoot through walls, which I think is really fucking cool. So this has me even more interested in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just agree with what you said. My biggest draw to it is the fact that it seems like they're having fun with the combat. It's a nice, change of pace from, what you would expect, obviously, from a lot of these games where they come out and it's just, different grounded weapons, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
Even something like this could be a weird example, but like The Division, where it is still a grounded experience, but they kind of still like play around with the idea of like giving you moves and stuff like that. This is like that with more imagination, right? So
Yeah.
I think that aspect is pretty cool. Obviously I'd like to see a larger breakdown than this, but if it's a fun game, it looks interesting for sure. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it's cooperative too, so you might actually be interested in playing it.
yeah.
And just for anybody who's curious, I was just able to sign up for the playtest via Steam. It just has a request access thing on their page, and you just hit it once, and it puts you in. So,
Yeah.
and typically in my experience on Steam, I've always gotten into things if I request it through that. So, if you're curious about playing this on the 12th, it's on there.
Yeah, I think at the point where you like are searching for it and clicking a button, they're like, okay, they want to try it.
Yeah, I think it's just gauging
Yeah.
how many people are interested. One time, though, even though I think Josh lied to me, me, Cody, and Josh all went to sign up for something. He's like, I don't have access to that. I'm like, oh, you just click the thing and it signs you up for the beta. And he's like, it won't let me in. I'm just like, And Cody was able to get in. I was able to get in. I forget what game that was, but he was just not. He was not interested. But for the most part, yeah, you normally can get into things if they have that request access. So
Right.
So yeah, hopefully I get into that and I'm able to try it. But yeah, I agree. I think this actually looks pretty interesting. Outside of my small nitpicks of some of the visual style stuff, graphically I think it looks good. The art style's not bad, or the visual style's not bad. It's just kind of like generic looking to me. But gameplay actually looks pretty decent. So I'll definitely be looking forward to this. And if this is a $30 game, I could have swore I read that. How long is it going to be? Because how's that $30? Like, obviously, if it's on Unreal, I guess it's easier to pump out those graphics. But it's super cinematic, and it's got multiplayer. Like, I feel like that's like a $40 game at the least. So, but if it's $30 and it's a decent game, more power to them, I guess. It'll definitely get their company some reputation. So,
For sure.
but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to playing this or checking it out. So I do wish we got a video that kind of gave us like a breakdown, someone talking and explaining things. But
well, with people getting their hands on it soon, that information will be out there.
that'll just happen. People will be making videos on it. Maybe I will. So yeah, overall, very interested. Got anything else?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments what do you guys think about Luck Chimera. Does it look interesting to you? Does it not look interesting to you? How do you feel about where first-person shooters are at right now? Do you agree that it's just mostly multiplayer games, not a whole lot of single-player ones, or do you think there's plenty of them out there? If you have some you want to recommend, let us know. And what are you hoping for when it comes to this game? Do you have any information on this game that we were asking questions about that you might be able to answer? And are you interested in playing it? Whether it's the playtest or the game itself when it comes out, let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to La Chimera. Last video we have is for Den of Wolves, the first preview via IGN. This is 7.5 minutes of gameplay where they're going to talk about this game that's being made by the people who made the original Payday 1 and I believe 2. They also made GTFO, I think, and they are coming back to the heist genre with Den of Wolves. This is a game that I think we're both kind of just naturally interested in because we like Payday. We did actually play Payday 3 and enjoyed it as well, but it does definitely feel like it's not as... It hasn't been out as long as Payday 2 as well, but it feels slightly different than Payday 2. And so I will be curious to see what the people who were responsible for the series are doing with Den of Wolves, because I honestly don't know much about it outside of it is a cyberpunk heist game. It's cyberpunk Payday from what I've heard, but it'll be interesting to see what this guy has to say about it. Do you have anything you want to say on this before we watch this?
No, I don't think so.
All right, this is Den of Wolves, the first preview in 3, 2, 1, and go.
It honestly shocks me that there aren't more heist games, because I can think of few experiences more awesome than carrying out my boyhood law-breaking fantasies with the lads. Thankfully,
Rip
after
Val Kilmer.
more than a decade away from the glamour
Fucking love
and
Heat.
gunpowder of criminal activity, a group of familiar faces behind Payday the Heist and Payday 2 have taken a break from making the insanely difficult co-op shooter GTFO to go back to what they do best. And that is, make games where you and your friends work together to break the law by pulling off a series of elaborate and high-risk burglaries, for no other reason than to satisfy your wanton greed. But where the Payday series was and continues to be a fairly standard game about robbing banks, the upcoming Den of Wolves adds a compelling sci-fi world with a gritty cyberpunk flair, multi-phase planning and execution of
definitely
break-ins
looks
where
different.
you can decide exactly how you want to pull it off. And most importantly, the ability to dive into the minds of others to steal the valuable secrets hidden within their brains. If that doesn't get your blood pumping, I
That's
don't know
definitely
what
different.
will.
Yeah, a little Inception-y.
Den of Wolves takes place in the extremely dark near future where the world's technology ecosystem imploded due to hackers, and corporations were given free rein to do whatever
Masks.
they pleased to combat the crisis, including but not limited to human experimentation and building dangerous and unpredictable technologies.
visual style.
Your
Yeah, I do
basic
too.
cyberpunk hellscape stuff. So long
very
as they
cyberpunk.
kept their activities contained to the newly minted libertarian dystopia and Andrew Ryan's wet dream, Midway City. Naturally, this leads to corporations storing their data straight inside totally unhackable human brains, transforming the host to all that delicious data into a wonderful little flesh battery from the looks of it. But we're hardened criminals, guys. Are we really gonna let a super creepy meat computer locked away in a bank vault get in the way of us pulling off heists? I think not. To that end, Den of Wolves has you and 3 friends planning and carrying out a series
yeah,
of
that's
felonies
creepy.
in Midway City, where you'll overcome those pesky brain-based security systems by mind-melding with victims
That's cool.
to rip off their secrets and make off with the loot. My demo focused on a single operation where my crew and I planned and executed a high-stakes assault on a bank currently under new management by a very aggressive street gang with power and tech enough to rival governments. Pretty nasty stuff.
Sounds like Cyberpunk.
In this particular case,
Keeps
our
looking away
plan of
when the
attack
little
was to
robot
use a
gets on the door. I
swarm
wanna
of
see that.
drones acquired from a previous robbery to ambush a number of these gang members to gain entrance into the reinforced stronghold, then go loud as possible, shooting up the place with reckless abandon until we found what we were looking for. In this instance, the big prize was the data inside someone's head, who was locked safely away inside a vault and scarcely resembled a human anymore. Truly just straight nightmare fuel, if I'm being honest. Much of this caper went off in a way any Payday fan will immediately recognize. We used a variety of automatic weapons to smash and grab everything in sight while holding off waves of folks who were quite mad about being ripped off, deploying and repairing drills that break every couple seconds,
Hey, look, drills.
even in a sci-fi future apparently. Naturally, cooperation was critical
Definitely a
to
cooler
our
looking
success,
drill.
Yeah.
as we laid down cover fire for one another, revived down teammates who got caught in a bad spot, and called out to one another as we heaved bags full of loot across the ruined fortress. There really wasn't a whole lot new about the foundation of this heist game, aside from maybe the consumable equipment abilities that let my squad do things like throw down a temporary barrier that provided some limited cover in the middle of a fight. But all that changed when the
Like a
bank
trophy
vault
system?
doors slid open, revealing the prize we were chasing after, a caterpillar-like human lump locked away to contain valuable secrets. After a little bit of hacking, we leapt from the physical plane and into the mind of this person to hack open their brain and make off with their secrets. Now, I don't know what exactly is going on in the mind of this clearly and understandably disturbed individual, but what we found waiting for us inside his dome was an unsettling and surreal series of
that's cool
landscapes
looking.
that we had to leap between to gain access to their thoughts. And since we were on a timer, we couldn't afford to take our time or slip up, lest we get booted back out to the real world and have to continue to hold out against enemies before getting
Oh,
another
interesting.
crack at it. This was the only brain I dove into in my limited time with Den of Wolves, but I was told that every mind would present unique challenges to play against.
That's cool.
Not just the high-stakes platforming of our current mission. And while it remains to be seen just how interesting or how much variety these will have, this section completely shook up an otherwise familiar formula in a seriously cool way. I love shooting at rival criminal gangs and robocops as much as the next convicted felon, but it was really neat to jump back and forth between reality-based FPS combat and completely bizarre cooperative platforming in a geometrically impossible world of imagination.
So it's pretty decent
helps
for
to set
pre-alpha.
this one apart
Yeah.
from what I worried might just be a Payday sequel with a cyberpunk skin plastered over it.
Which I would be
Instead,
fine with.
it seems Den of Wolves plans on taking some real risks and trying stuff that makes it weird and interesting, and I'm absolutely down for that. In
The
between
guns
trips
sound
into
good.
our poor, troubled victim's mind, we were yanked right back out to where we left off, only milliseconds apparently having elapsed in meat space while we went parading around in someone's noggin. After jumping back into his skull for a few additional servings of deeply uncomfortable jumping puzzles, we got what we came for and made our exit by blowing up some windows with high explosives and diving out to what I can only hope was some Assassin's Creed-style hay piles waiting conveniently just below. Though Den of Wolves borrows quite a bit from Payday and other crime games, the setting, elaborate planning mechanics, and especially its surreal mind-hacking mechanics all made me feel pretty confident that developer 10 Chambers' return to the wonderful world of heisting has a good chance of being another stunning success. Here's hoping they can pull off the score of a lifetime when this thing eventually makes its way into early access on PC. For more, check out our previews of Wuchan Fallen Feathers and Wildgate. And for everything else,
we already reacted to Wildgate. You guys can watch our reaction to that a couple episodes ago. All right, what do we think?
I mean, definitely in contrast to the last couple of videos, I like the visual style of this game quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I am also just kind of a sucker for cyberpunk settings.
And this feels, it's not like revolutionary in terms of visuals for cyberpunk games, but it feels confidently cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It looks like a cyberpunk dystopian world.
Yeah, and they kind of mentioned too that it's the like quote unquote near future or whatever. So, I also like the idea because one thing that I enjoy about like Payday as an example is that there's a variety of objectives. It's not always getting into a vault and grabbing the bags of jewels and cash. Sometimes it's something like cooking in a basement. I'll just say, or stuff like that. This has the same kind of philosophy where it's like there's loot, but there's also like I hesitate to say digital loot, but like information as loot, and like this idea that the safest computer is a human brain, so like a person basically gets sacrificed to be data storage, which is very creepy thought.
Dystopian.
Yeah, and
cyberpunk.
I definitely dig it. I also think the way they visually have represented like the mind is fun. It'll make for an interesting gameplay loop, I think, especially if it's always like different and presenting different challenges and stuff. And it sounds like you'll be going in and out of that space multiple times probably to acquire the data. So you're going to be going from these like fairly like typical like defense basically missions in any shooter, and to like they've already shown these platforming, potentially other things. I don't know what else is going to be offered in that quote unquote hacking parts too, and that's kind of fun because it'll break up the gameplay cycle. So
yeah, and he was saying too that there's a time limit when they're in there, and it would boot you out, and you have to go back to defending. So it tells me, at least for this mission, the gameplay loop is like getting in there and trying to get to the end of that sequence, and if you can't, you have to it just prolongs the mission, which sounds very Payday
for
without having this whole mind heist thing that Payday obviously didn't have.
Yeah. Then the gadgets being like consumables, basically. Which I believe they had anyways before, but obviously it's a little more sci-fi with the see-through shooting through shields and
I don't know what he meant by that, because he said that was like the only thing that was like different, and in Payday you equip things and use them. So is he saying like you have to buy them every time and
maybe
use them,
or maybe it's like grenades where you have like one or two or something. So
I'll be curious to see what he actually meant by that. But yeah
and then the guns look fine. So
I think they look pretty cool. They're definitely safe, but like the thing I was impressed with the guns is the sound quality.
Yeah,
they sound beefy, which it's fucking crazy to me that in 2025 to this day I still see modern games with just the flattest, thinnest, tinniest fucking sound effects, especially when it comes to guns. I'm not saying this is like the best ever, but like I noticed it. I was like, oh, those actually sound pretty fucking beefy.
Right.
Which makes combat feel better, which makes things feel more intense. So I'm happy about that. But
For sure.
I think the gun designs are fine. They definitely look I mean, they're obviously shooting ballistics, but they feel cyberpunky, so they don't just look like an M4 and a fucking,
right.
you know, AUG or whatever. They actually have their own designs, which is cool. That's what you want to see from like a futuristic setting. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious about this too. Obviously, he's putting down those shields, which I think look really cool. You can see through them, and they look like they're easy to deploy. But this circle thing, I don't know if that's what he was talking about in the video or not, or if this is just like a rally point where you have to like hold the position. I don't know what they're doing there.
Well, it looks like they're setting up all the equipment to
Yeah.
dive into the mindscape or whatever.
Yeah, just
it
the
is.
way he was describing it, I think he was talking about those shields they're throwing down, but
Yeah.
it was when they were interacting with that green thing when he's talking about it, so it's just bad editing maybe. But that's why for a second I was like, is that a trophy system? Is that what he's talking about? But I don't think that is what he's talking about.
Right.
But yeah, I actually think this looks really cool. For pre-alpha footage, I think the graphics are pretty decent. I think the art style is really cool. Definitely looks like cyberpunk stuff. Also, bringing the masks back from Payday. Very smart. This isn't Payday, but you know who made Payday, and you know who's making this, and they're deciding to do more of what they've done in the past. And I think in a cyberpunk setting, you can do some pretty cool things with masks. Hopefully there'll be different characters you can pick from too, or different outfits or whatever.
Well, hopefully when it comes to like the mask, hopefully they just like launch with a ton, because that's to compare to Payday 3, which I had fun with when we played. But the mask selection seemed really limited.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember Payday 2 feeling that limited. So, but I might be thinking back with rose-colored glasses.
Right.
After they had already added a bunch of shit. So I don't
Years and years ago.
Yeah, my memory's fucked on that. But yeah, I think it's cool, promising to, you know, have more masks. I think it's a cool system that really defined Payday in a lot of ways outside of the gameplay of heists. This definitely seems similar, which like I kept talking about, like, oh, it's not just the Payday clone, and I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. I want them to try new things, but I would also, sadly, be very okay with a cyberpunk Payday. That's all they have to do, base minimum, and if they can do that, I'll be fucking happy. But that they are doing like the mind heist stuff, I think that's actually a really cool idea. That takes it a step above just being a sci-fi heist game, but also like adding some flavor to it that makes it feel like you're starting to get a little glimpse of what is this world. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't expecting that, so that's really cool. I'm also really impressed with that glass breaking. It looks
Yeah.
really good, because the rest of the game, animation wise, is like fine, but like that looked really decent. But yeah, that gives it some flavor that if they can execute it well, will make yet another game these guys have made stand out, which it seems like they're pretty good at, because even GTFO has a dedicated fan base, but that game's also stands out. Like, if you know about that game, you know about that game. But I think it's a little too hard for your casual players, and I think that's why I never took off. But I applaud them for trying something like that. It's definitely its own flavor as well. So, but yeah, overall, I think this looks awesome. I signed up for the playtest, so I'm hoping I get access to it, because this looks like a game I would definitely play as a fan of cyberpunk stuff, but also a fan of heists and Payday. I'm also curious if there will be perks in the game or not. He didn't mention anything about that, but
Might not have had access in his build. He
yeah,
played.
exactly. They just played one mission, so and probably just get down the shooting mechanics and how a mission plays out. But Payday and Payday 2 and Payday 3 had perks, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do that, and I hope they do. I would like things to work towards outside of, you know, just playing and beating these hard missions, I guess. So, but yeah, it's in pre-alpha gameplay, but I'm already pretty sold on this. This definitely seems like a game I'll definitely play. So, I am anticipating it. I think that's everything I have to say on it. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks very cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about Den of Wolves? Are you excited for it? You're not excited for it? If you're not excited for it, why aren't you excited for it? If you are, what looks most interesting to you? What are you hoping when it comes to this game? What they bring to the table? And are you coming into this game from having played Payday 1 and 2, maybe 3, even though it's some different people? And what do you hope they can translate from that game formula into a cyberpunk setting? And are you hoping that it'll be similar? Or do you want it to be different? Hopefully they lean further into some of the new mechanics. Let let us know everything you're thinking when it comes to just what you want from Den of Wolves in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast, episode 218. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you, Shay, for joining me for this episode. And thank you guys for coming all the way to the very end of the episode with us. And if you're still here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're brand new, and stay tuned. We will have more episodes coming soon. I'll be doing a video on Marathon for sure, so stay tuned for that. And until then, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.